For those investors and those purchasers who are looking for creative purchase opportunities, if you will, I'll tell you what, I got plans to put together, or to purchase rather, a list. I'll tell you what, if you want to buy a single family home and you want to purchase it subject to the existing financing, or if you want to do some type of seller carryback, you're gonna, the first thing I would do is I'm gonna pull a list, okay? I'm gonna pull a list from listsource.com, right? And I'm gonna put in there all of the zip codes that I'm interested in buying in. And then I'm also gonna look up, you can find data, you can find all kinds of data online. ListSource is one of the older ones. There's probably some newer ones that you can find data on. If I'm going to buy a property, or want to buy a property subject to the existing financing, I need to find a property that's vacant, right? There's an absentee homeowner, right? They got a mortgage on the property, and they have very little equity in the home. I hope that makes sense. You got an out-of-state landlord, okay? They refinanced 2 years ago, right? The property's vacant. They don't have equity, right? They don't necessarily want to be a landlord, or better yet, it was their primary residence and they got relocated for a job, or had a death in the family, or something came up and they had to move out of town. That's what I would look at. I'm dropping some game right now. You want a low equity, okay, vacant home in a decent area, right? And it's got a mortgage on it, right? It's got a mortgage on it for them to try to sell the property outright. Not many people want to be landlords anyway. So they're sitting on a vacant house. They're out of state. They might be a month or 2 or 3 months behind on the mortgage. Boom, there you go. You're going to have to reach out to them, and you're going to have to follow up, because like I said, everybody and their daddy, virtually every investor, is going to be looking for the same shit, which is what I did, which is why I had to expand. But anyway, I'm just going to leave it at that for now. I'm going to do another video kind of talking about how more buyers, not just investors, can find creative opportunities subject to the existing financing. And then maybe I'll get into how investors, or a regular home buyer, can find an opportunity where a seller might be willing to do seller financing. At that, I got to get out of here. I got to eat, y'all.